Good morning. I'm Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, and we're here at the beautiful and spectacular Wantagh Park and Pool. And we're here today for an important public service announcement. Basically, today we're going to talk about pool safety because this is the first day of summer and everybody's opening up their pools, and we want to make sure that you practice good safety so that we can make sure that all our children are safe this summer, that they have a great summer and they enjoy the summer without any negative incidents. Here in Nassau County, in our beautiful public pools like this one in Wantagh Park, we have well-trained lifeguards, and they know their responsibilities. And this year we're hiring more lifeguards. For pools, we lowered the age to 15 to get a larger pool of, no pun intended, a larger group of lifeguards, because there have been shortages throughout the whole United States, but we want to make sure that all our pools are staffed. So, common sense, if you use common sense, don't be preoccupied. Make sure if someone has the responsibility to watch children in the pool, that they don't assume somebody else is taking over that responsibility. And if you do those things, all of our children will be safe. We'll have a wonderful and healthy summer for all.
You know, drownings among children under 4 is one of the leading causes of death, and it's preventable. And, it doesn't take into account the near drownings that could have happened today. So drownings is really important. Unfortunately, as Bruce mentioned, tragedy struck our family where, my wife and I had 2 little kids, a 3-year-old and a 21-month-year-old boy. And it was her birthday, so it was a beautiful day. It was January 1st, 1989. And I was out putting balloons up around the pool, just like this one here, and Stewie was helping me. He was handing me the balloons. And I'm just up there putting the balloons on it. I looked down and I didn't see him there, and my wife was baking a cake in the little kitchen there. And there were a lot of adults around, a lot of kids around. But I just took my eyes off Stewie. I assumed he was with my wife in the kitchen. So I hung the balloons up and I went down into the kitchen and said, "Where's Stewie?" Well, they said, "I thought he was with you." Well, panic broke out among my brothers, sisters, my wife, myself. It was only a matter of minutes, but I remember looking in the pool and I saw a yellow shirt floating that he was wearing. And I said, I dove in as quick as I could and picked him up, and he had already passed. It just took minutes to do that. So my wife and I, of course, you're devastated at that time. You hit a dark cloud in your life, like any of you that have probably lost a loved one. And we decided, let's try to do something where this doesn't happen to other young parents. I mean, we were only maybe 30 years old or so. And so we went out on a mission to really get out there and say, as Bruce said, watch your kids 24/7.
We were in Florida. This is only 2 months ago. This happened in April. We were down in Florida for a family vacation. My wife and I were at the pool. I tend to stay in the pool with them. I'm kind of vigilant like that, and my wife is as well. I got out to go up. We were about 15 minutes about going up for dinner. I went up to the room first. My wife was sitting poolside, 10 feet away. Maxwell had his swim vest on, which is a zip up, and it clips. So no problems. We've been doing it for 3 years. He's been in it. You assume, which is the word that you keep hearing over here, you assume, and something that you can't. My wife and her sister were there, and she had just turned around for 1 minute. 1 minute, she turned around to speak to her sister, who was packing up our stuff to go to dinner. And young Maxwell over here, at 4 years old, just turned 4, he unzipped his swim vest, unbeknownst to anybody, stepped out of it, and jumped in the deep end. Surveillance footage, which was told to us by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, said that he was in the water for 1 minute and 20. Carter happened to be swimming in the deep end as well. He's a pretty good swimmer. He's only 7, though, so he's not an expert by any stretch. He noticed Max. I have no idea how the young man was able to decipher that there was trouble and that his brother wasn't playing. He was unconscious and floating on the top at the time. He picked him up and carried him from the middle of the pool to the edge and called for my wife, Lisbeth. Who obviously ran over frantic. Maxwell was unconscious, but because of Carter getting him out of the water that quickly, in which we had probably seconds left, with 6 rescue breaths, and through 45 seconds, he came back. Thank goodness. We spent 3 days in the hospital down there. It was a happy ending, but there's not a lot of happy endings sometimes when it comes to this. So my message with Mr. Leonard is to never assume. I can never assume. You have to keep your eyes on your children, especially in water, at all times. Never assume they keep their vest on. Never assume they're going to be fine. Please don't be distracted by the pool. It takes 1 minute for your life to change completely.